regard him as an African hero, we regard him as an African leader. At a time when other people are frightened to speak, Mumia, with the noose around his neck, tells the truth about the evil and wickedness of US Satan imperialism and imperialisms all around the world. So, that alone puts him in the category of African hero as far as we're concerned. So we're here to save his life. We're here to seek his freedom, that he should be taken out of prison as a man who was wrongly convicted of a murder, which he clearly did not do. We're here because we're opposed to the death penalty. We see it as an act of barbarism, and there are some states in the world that still practice that act of barbarism, and we want them to know that we, along with the masses of the people in the world, are opposed to the barbaric death penalty. There are other reasons as well, plenty of reasons. Let me give one or two. We are opposed to political prisoners, people being wrongly convicted and sent to prison, knowingly so by states. Mumia is a classic example of somebody who is innocent, who has been sent to prison. And Africans, not only do we overpopulate the prisons, but we are numerous amongst the political prisoners. And of course, the whole issue of racism, which is one that affects African people profoundly, is central to the issues surrounding Mumia Abu-Jama. There are lots more, but I'll stop now.
And do you think your voices can be heard by America here in the UK?
Yeah, we're here outside the US Satan Embassy, the embassy of the most evil and wicked imperialist nation humanity has ever known. They tremble when we come. In 1995, they attempted to murder Mumia Abu-Jama, and the masses of the people came out in 1995, not just here in London, but all around the world, all around Europe, in Africa, in US Satan itself, around the Caribbean, etc., etc. They had no choice but to rescind, well, not rescind the death penalty, but not to go ahead with the death penalty. So they didn't kill him then. We're here again. Our numbers will pick up as the news gets around, and the people will put such pressure on US Satan that they will not be able to kill him. But there's a history. It's not just us talking off the top of our heads. We know, for instance, as African people, we know that Kwame Nkrumah was imprisoned, falsely imprisoned. We know also that he won the election and became the Prime Minister of Ghana from inside the prison cell, and they had to release him through the power of the people. We know also that Marcus Garvey was imprisoned, 3 times a political prisoner. And when in the island of Jamaica where he was born, when he was in prison for the 3rd time, when the authorities learned that thousands of people were going to descend on the prison, and they had picked the day when they were going to come down, they released him a few days before that to avoid the thousands of people coming down to the prison. We're in touch with the Grenada 17. The Grenada 17 are a very important group. They are the group of people who were accused of murdering the revolutionary Maurice Bishop, who was the leader of the Grenada Revolution, falsely accused. The history is now beginning to show us. Now, they were on death row. US Satan were pulling the strings behind the scenes, but they were actually on death row. Now, with the popular movements around the world, US Satan could not carry out the death sentence against them. We prevented them from doing that, and we had the pleasure of interacting with members of the Grenada 17 who have now been released from prison and are living their lives, if we can call being outside prison free, they're living their lives in a free state. We're in touch with Rob King of the Angola 3, who again was another political prisoner, and there was no choice. They had to let Rob King go. Rob King is now out. We've had the pleasure of interacting with Rob King, who was inside the US Satan prison for 35 years. So, the power of the people can force states to back off, at least marginally, from their evil practices, particularly the US Satan state, which is the worst state humanity has ever known.
And if you could speak to Barack Obama and his government, what message would you say?
The first thing I would have to say to Barack Obama is you are the greatest Uncle Tom in the history of humanity. You do nothing for African people. In fact, you join in the oppression against African people. So Barack Obama, you are part of the enemy of our people. But I'm happy to be proved wrong. So Barack Obama, I want to be proved wrong. I want to eat my words. And so one way that you can make me eat my words, and I'll come and apologize if I'm wrong, is for you to open your mouth on the case of Mumia Abu-Jama and to tell your terrorists, your bullies, your murderers to let this man go. He's innocent. If you want to do it the soft way, tell them to issue him with a retrial, because that retrial will prove his innocence and it will not look as though he's been receiving any special favors. So Barack Obama is the greatest Uncle Tom in the history of humanity, but I'm happy to take those words back if he does what he's supposed to and speak out on the case of Mumia Abu-Jama. There's much more that could be said about Barack Obama. I regard him as a bit of a waste of time, to be quite honest. The sooner this phase of history is out of the way and our people see him for what he is and see the role of Africans operating as neo-colonialists against our people, the sooner that part of the history becomes clearer to our people, the sooner we'll have revolution, and the sooner we'll be liberated and free people again in Africa, and all poor peoples around the world will be free and liberated again.
That was Russia Today.
How are you?